Okay, I'm gonna start busting into some Franciscan. This is Franciscan from Northern California. I've napped quite a bit from Southern California. So let's see how this stuff works. See if I can knock out. There's a couple seams running through it, so let's see how they hold up. Got a good hammerstone here. Pretty sure it's hard enough. Might try taking a flake this way actually. It looks like there was a flake taken there. So let's see if I can run a flake right here. Stuff just doesn't want to run sometimes. So it's a good flake. Fractures are going right through it. I think I can probably turn that into something. See if these fractures hold up, or they're pretty much quartz seams from what it looks like. I'm probably gonna try and do this is Franciscan shirt, so it goes from Santa Barbara County up until Oregon. I might make a traditional stem point style. Traditionally, we made them stemmed, or there are a few like side notch types. Halama side notch, Diablo Canyon. I might do a side notch if I can. It's pretty tough stuff. Could probably use some heat, but I'm just gonna nap it raw first. And then if I spall it out and get some more flakes, I might heat treat it. Yeah, I like making them too. I was at a nap in last Saturday, and I brought some of the San Ynez Franciscan, and it looked grainy, or it looked like it might have been made from mud or something, but it actually ended up flaking pretty well, and I got a decent point out of it. This is one I just did out of Goldsfield Jasper from Nevada. Kind of got to have like a black background to see it, but yeah, it's pretty stuff. So I decided to bust into some of this stuff. Heavier tool. Yeah, it's pretty. You can it's really pretty stuff, but yeah, it's got a lot of inclusions in it. This is a heat treated piece that was given to me, so definitely gonna make a lot of gem points out of it. Hopefully I can make something something out of it. Yeah, I got a few good pieces of rock from the nap in that I've been playing around with. Okay. This is where the, see, there's a little bit of evidence of these cracks actually like going deep, but maybe even all the way through the point. Let's see what, but it does flake on both sides. I just took that flake and that went over there, so it's tricky stuff. I mean, this stuff from down south too, you know, this got those, it's got some really bad fractures in it, just like this. Just depends on the piece you get, really. This stuff isn't terrible quality, as long as these seams hold up. Bit of an inclusion in there, but it's, the flakes are running through it. I mean, if it breaks, it's probably going to break through there or there. So hopefully it stays in one piece. This is like the type of piece that you wanna just start bifacing out real quick and see what happens to it. That was a pretty decent flake. So this one's only 2 notches. I kind of just did the safest notching possible, so just a regular little side notch. I was gonna do corner notches, but I didn't even want to risk blowing an ear like that, and to me side notching is the safest, especially if I want to put it on a necklace. It's going to be the easiest to wire wrap too. I got like another, it looks gnarly on this side, but just, that's another flake that I busted off. So yeah, I got a couple other good, pretty decent flakes. This one I could probably make a nice little gem point out of. My buddy gave me a couple little cobbles of obsidian, so they're smaller than this, little round things. I think it'd be pretty fun to video making a couple points out of like one of those pieces, just to do some small stuff too. All right, it hinged on me a little there. I should have been concentrating on that a little bit better. That just kind of brushed off though. But yeah, I'll put up another platform right here. Got pretty much my go-to biface shape going now. Just a little oval. Recorded I did like a little bit, I just recorded I had like a stack on this and hit it with indirect percussion, the edge of it, and saved myself on that one. I didn't get the hit recorded, but you could see the resulting flake where it was just about to be a problem. So I do like doing some indirect here and there, as long as it, you know, as long as it does what I want it to do, because a bad indirect flake can really ruin a piece, but if you get it just right, it can save you too. Okay, so this is what we got going so far. Fracture running right through there. It looks more healed on this side than it does on this side. I might try to take a flake off this side just to get that off, but I mean, that could just break it also. Kind of a little interesting inclusion there. But yeah, I just hope it holds up. We're getting pretty thin though, so it's survived this long, but when it gets thinner, that's when it wants to break. See if I can run another flake right here. Put my finger below it. There we go. Give it that support. Now I'm trying to focus on any thick spots I see. That's where I just took the last flake, and then it's still a little bit thick right here. Yeah, I've noticed that with indirect percussion, I do a lot better as long as I hold off on the angle. And it's just a whole other thing other than doing the freehand, because you're holding it in your hand, you have the tool on there, and then you have to support it and hit it with the right tool and all that good stuff. Yeah, it's flaking pretty nicely. May end up just turning this into a leaf blade. Yeah, I've learned that lesson the hard way too when it comes to indirect percussion. I messed around a lot with the antler punch too, with the notch in it, and I would just have it like that, and it would take off a clean flake, but it would overshoot quite dramatically, usually. Even on the flints. Okay, so I have this little problem spot on the edge. That I'm just gonna start pressure flaking it. Thank you, Artist 11. I think that's Raymond, right? Still got your mug. Still my favorite mug too. all those just tuning in, napping Franciscan shirt from Northern California. And same stuff from down in Santa Ynez. It goes all the way up to Oregon, and it starts in Santa Barbara County. What's interesting is I saw a post earlier, and I think this stuff is in the Alps too, because it looked like the same stuff, and they were calling it Radiolarian shirt, and I think that's what they also call this stuff. So pretty interesting. This is another piece I have from Santa Ynez. It's tricky stuff. Or this piece is pretty tough, but yeah, I was napping a piece last weekend, and it looked grainy, but turned out a nice piece. So let's see here. I'm just kind of running pressure on this. I don't want to. I was just trying to get rid of that bad spot on the edge, and there's still that seam in there. So my favorite material, I do like working this stuff a lot, the Franciscan, because it's local, it's traditional for me since my ancestors on my mom's side were using it. But yeah, I like a good Texas flint or decent obsidian also. If I can make good stuff out of this or the Monterey chert, those are my favorite points. I learned on Fuse Shale, which was a traditional source in Southern California, but I didn't know that at the time. Where I was getting it from the neighbor's yard, they had cobbles of it because it's a landscape quarry. And I would just go and walk by and pick up little shiny pieces of it, but it looked a lot like obsidian and dacite. I've been napping for 20 years. Yeah, Southern Cal. I grew up in Santa Barbara and Goleta, so I had to learn all the materials out there. Basically what my ancestors were using. This is some Napa obsidian. I made a point out of it earlier and split the spall. My friend gave me some of that. He gave me some of it about like, oh, see there it goes. There's that fracture. Not too bad. Now I can just turn it into a side notch, but yeah, just it was just a little bit of pressure on that and just snapped it. I mean, it probably was just gonna happen anyways, but yeah, you can see how it's it's shiny in there too from the quartz. So I'm just gonna go about it carefully. Well, actually, never mind. I'm gonna do a little percussion work on it. Just to get rid of, or just to get it back into shape, basically. This stuff is usually really tough, so just having a little bit of pressure on it like that, and it breaking where that seam was. I mean, it was gonna break anyways, so. I might knock off another piece. Let's see, that seam is this one, and it might have just been a little spot where it was. It looks like a little thing in there too, so we'll just turn this into maybe a side notch. Goes with the territory of napping this stuff. Yeah, I did. I used the hammerstone. So got a good hard hammerstone here, and then I just knocked that flake off. I was trying to hit it right here, but it wasn't going. And yeah, see, there's the seams. You can still see it in the rock right there too. If I take another flake, it would right here, if I could, then it would it might not even have any of that seam in it. Let's see if I can knock off this corner. Hard to do it on these dull corners. But then I just rearranged that edge, so. Not wanting to go. There's a flake. Got that green going through it. Now I want to see if I can take a platform right here. I'll just do that real quick, and then I'll get back on that piece. Yeah, I can definitely do that. Probably just do it out of obsidian. See, there's another flake. It's decent stuff. It's just that one fracture that got me. Let me try taking this flake. A little longer one. It followed that ridge. That's a good flake. Well, has that fracture going through it, but at least it broke off cleanly. I'll still try making something out of it. Yeah, this is the traditional material right here. Franciscan. There's another flake. Let's see, maybe I might need my other hammerstone. Getting little fractures on the outside there too. Okay, there's a good flake. I mean, this whole piece will hopefully make something. But yeah, let me get back to this little guy right here. So the cool thing about the local riverbeds out there is you can find some pretty decent hammerstones too, along with the chert. So I use like hard hammerstones, but yeah, you want to make sure it's a good hard rock for the chert. And yeah, like a solid one. Like for obsidian, I'll use like sandstone and stuff, but on this stuff, because it can be real tough, you want to make sure it's solid. Even like a quartz hammerstone, and I've even found quartz hammerstones in those rivers. Even like heavy, big blue round ones from like rock yards that they use in landscape fill. Okay, so here right now I'm using leverage to push these flakes off, and I'm gonna have to make it a little bit more symmetrical again after we lost that little bit in the back there. sure I'm keeping the base thin also. I'm running these flakes in a pattern now, so like I just took those 3 flakes and I'll take the flake next to it and then next to that one. Getting some pretty decent flake scars in there. Just gotta do a few sets of them. Sharpen the tool. Keeping your tool sharp is always crucial when running flakes, especially on tough materials like this, because it can dull out quick. And at this point, I'm looking down at a bird's eye view and seeing where I still have my thick parts and where I'm able to like run my flakes. So I have these flakes going down this way, and then my goal is to press flakes to that side to have them meet up. Got a little stack right there that I'm going to press through. Keeping note of my edge. This is below center line over here. If I was going to press flakes over there, but I still have some platforms over here, so I can take advantage of those, press some off. So we're getting down there, down to the preform stage. Thanks, Ray. Thanks for watching. Almost done here. Just gonna get this shape here, get the tip pointy, and then see about notching it. It looks like it wants to be a basal notch kind of point. Need a different background. Well, it's sharp. All right, let's see. Not sure. Had a little stack right there, got under it. Just gonna see if I can do this without a wing popping off. So I just kind of went for a basil notch right now. If I had kept the full length, it would have been a leaf blade, but since it had that crack going through it, this is what I'm going with. But a good thing I got some good spalls off that piece, and probably make a blade out of the rest of the piece. And then a few other little points like this one. Alright, so this is what we end up with. Franciscan shirt from Northern California. I'll take it out of the, I think I can. Got another little crack going through it right there. I'm happy with the flaking though. And then a couple other pieces I busted off there. That one's got a gnarly crack in it. This is the main piece. I'll bust that one up some more, see what it does. And then there's that Goldsfield point that I made earlier. Alright, thank you all for watching, and yeah, I'll see about hopping on sometime again soon.